On Saturday, September 20th, 2025, Europe's airports awoke to chaos, not from weather or strikes, but from a massive cyber attack. Automated check-in and baggage systems failed, halting the flow of travelers and forcing airports to revert to outdated manual processes. Staff scrambled to manage the growing crowds as delays mounted and confusion spread. The attack exposed just how vulnerable our interconnected travel infrastructure has become. Airports, reliant on third-party software, found a single point of failure could paralyze operations continent-wide. What began as isolated glitches quickly revealed itself as a coordinated digital assault, sending shockwaves through the industry. The challenge was clear: restore order, understand the attack, and prevent further chaos. The attack struck Europe's busiest airports, London Heathrow, Brussels, and Berlin Brandenburg, crippling their automated systems. Heathrow's terminals, usually models of efficiency, devolved into scenes of long queues and mounting frustration. In Brussels, all automated check-in and baggage systems went offline, forcing staff to process every passenger by hand. Berlin Brandenburg faced the same fate, with officials warning of severe delays and urging patience. The synchronized failures across these hubs confirmed a targeted strike on shared infrastructure. By hitting passenger processing systems, attackers maximized disruption without endangering flight safety. The result: bottlenecks, delays, and a stark reminder of the risks in digital dependency. Europe's aviation network was brought to its knees in a matter of hours. Investigators quickly traced the chaos to a single supplier, Collins Aerospace, a major provider of airport software. Their departure control system, the backbone of check-in and baggage handling, had been compromised. This system, used by airports across Europe, verifies passenger details, assigns seats, and processes luggage. When it failed, automated kiosks went dark, and baggage belts stopped, forcing a return to slow, manual methods. The incident revealed the danger of relying on centralized third-party systems for critical operations. A single vulnerability in Collins's software triggered a domino effect, impacting thousands of travelers and airlines. The attack was a wake-up call. Digital supply chains are now a frontline in aviation security. As the crisis unfolded, Collins Aerospace publicly acknowledged a cyber-related disruption. Their statement confirmed the attack and assured the public that teams were working to restore service. Parent company RTX echoed this, emphasizing that backup manual procedures were in place, though far less efficient. These communications aim to reassure passengers and prevent panic, framing the issue as operational, not a safety threat. Behind the scenes, cybersecurity teams raced to identify the breach, isolate affected systems, and develop a fix. The calm public statements masked a frantic effort to contain the damage and restore normalcy. The incident underscored the importance of transparency and rapid response in managing digital crises. At Heathrow, the impact of the cyber attack was felt within minutes. Self-service kiosks, usually the backbone of efficient check-ins, suddenly went dark, leaving hundreds of travelers stranded in confusion. The lines at check-in counters grew rapidly, snaking through the terminal as more and more passengers arrived, unaware of the unfolding crisis. The hum of the airport was replaced by anxious chatter and the sound of frustrated sighs. With the automated systems down, staff had no choice but to revert to manual processes. They began checking documents by hand, carefully verifying each passport and ticket. Baggage tags, usually printed in seconds, were now written out one by one. This painstaking process was not only slower, but also prone to human error, adding to the mounting stress for both staff and travelers. Passengers, many of whom had early morning flights or tight connections, found themselves waiting for hours. Some sat on the floor with their luggage, while others paced nervously, checking their phones for updates. The delays quickly snowballed, affecting not just departing flights, but also arrivals, as crews and aircraft were left out of position. Throughout the day, the airport's communication teams worked tirelessly to keep passengers informed. Announcements echoed through the terminal, and digital boards flashed updates about delays and cancellations. Staff handed out leaflets and answered questions, urging travelers to remain patient and allow extra time for every step of their journey. Despite these efforts, the sheer number of people moving through Heathrow made it impossible to avoid widespread disruption. Delays stretched into the evening, and cancellations mounted as the backlog grew. For many, the airport became a place of uncertainty and frustration. The incident exposed just how dependent modern airports are on technology. A single system failure was enough to bring operations to a near standstill, highlighting vulnerabilities that few had anticipated. Behind the scenes, Heathrow's crisis teams coordinated a massive response, working around the clock to restore order. Staff were redeployed to help manage crowds, answer questions, and provide support to stranded travelers. It was a true test of resilience and adaptability. The chaos of the day underscored the fragility of even the most advanced airport operations. It was a stark reminder that technology, while powerful, can also be a single point of failure. For thousands of travelers, it was a day they would remember for all the wrong reasons, a travel nightmare that revealed just how quickly chaos can take hold. Brussels Airport mirrored Heathrow's chaos, with all automated systems offline and staff forced into a marathon of manual processing. Check-in agents worked with printed lists and handwritten baggage tags, while boarding staff manually verified every passenger. The slow pace created severe bottlenecks, with delays and cancellations mounting as the day wore on. Departure boards flashed, delayed, and canceled, and frustrated travelers filled the terminals. Communication teams provided regular updates, but uncertainty reigned. Extra staff were deployed to assist, but the human touch couldn't match lost automation. The crisis tested the patience and resilience of everyone at the airport. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport, designed for efficiency, was quickly overwhelmed as its digital systems failed. Passengers were funneled into long, slow-moving lines at check-in counters, with staff struggling to keep up. The airport warned travelers to expect significant delays and to arrive much earlier than usual. Inside, the atmosphere was tense, crowded terminals, anxious passengers, and mounting frustration. Delays cascaded through the flight schedule, with some airlines forced to cancel flights altogether. The attack was a severe test of Berlin's crisis management and operational resilience. The day exposed the limits of even the most modern airport when technology fails. For travelers, the cyber attack brought chaos and confusion. Many arrived at airports only to find their flights canceled or delayed indefinitely. The usual excitement of travel was replaced by missed flights, endless queues, and mounting stress. Families with young children struggled to keep calm, while business travelers anxiously checked their phones for updates. The uncertainty was overwhelming, and the sense of helplessness grew as hours passed with little information. Airports and airlines quickly urged passengers to check their flight status online or through mobile apps before leaving home, hoping to prevent unnecessary trips to the airport. They warned everyone to expect significant delays and to prepare for possible cancellations. For many, this meant rearranging plans at the last minute, contacting loved ones, and scrambling to find alternative routes. Those already at the airport were told to be patient, stay near the gates, and listen closely for updates over the intercom. Announcements echoed through terminals, but information was often scarce or rapidly changing. Some passengers tried to make the best of the situation, while others grew increasingly frustrated as the hours dragged on. Many faced unexpected costs for hotels and meals, while others missed connections or important events like weddings, graduations, or crucial business meetings. Airlines worked around the clock to rebook or refund affected passengers, but overwhelmed call centers and limited staff meant long wait times for help. Some travelers spent the night in airport hotels, while others tried to rest in crowded terminals. Service desks were swamped, and phone lines were jammed, making it nearly impossible for many to get assistance. The frustration was palpable as people waited for hours, hoping for answers or solutions that were slow to come. The incident highlighted just how much we rely on invisible digital systems to keep travel running smoothly. When these systems fail, the impact is immediate and far-reaching, affecting thousands in an instant. Grounded planes and empty runways became a stark reminder of how quickly technology can bring the world to a standstill, disrupting lives and plans without warning. The emotional and financial toll was immense, with frustration, exhaustion, and disappointment visible on every face. For many, the experience was not just inconvenient, but deeply stressful and costly. The day's events served as a harsh lesson in the fragility of modern travel, reminding us all how dependent we are on technology, and how quickly it can all unravel. The September 20th cyber attack was a wake-up call for global aviation, exposing the risks of digital interdependence. In a world where airports, airlines, and technology providers are tightly connected, A single vulnerability can ripple across continents, disrupting travel for millions. The attack didn't just cause delays, it revealed how much the aviation industry relies on complex digital systems to keep planes flying and passengers moving safely. A single software breach at Collins Aerospace crippled multiple major airports, proving that cybersecurity is now as vital as physical security. The incident forced airports to shut down check-in systems, ground flights, and scramble to restore operations. It was a stark reminder that even the most advanced infrastructure can be brought to a standstill by a targeted cyber attack. Manual backups, while necessary, proved inadequate for today's passenger volumes. Staff reverted to pen and paper, but the sheer scale of modern air travel made these old-school methods painfully slow. Passengers faced hours of uncertainty, and the chaos highlighted just how dependent we've become on digital efficiency. The crisis underscored the need for stronger digital defenses and more robust contingency plans. IT teams worked around the clock to contain the breach and restore critical systems, but the event exposed gaps in preparedness and response. It's clear that cybersecurity must be woven into every layer of aviation operations, from ticketing to air traffic control. Industry-wide collaboration and higher security standards for third-party vendors are now urgent priorities. Airports and airlines must work closely with technology partners to identify vulnerabilities, share threat intelligence, and enforce rigorous protocols. Only by working together can the industry stay ahead of evolving cyber threats. As systems were restored and airports cleared their backlogs, the industry faced a reckoning. The recovery was slow and costly, but it offered a crucial opportunity to rethink digital resilience and invest in smarter, more secure infrastructure for the future. For passengers, it was a nightmare. For aviation, a critical lesson. The disruption touched lives and livelihoods, reminding everyone that the consequences of cyber attacks extend far beyond the digital realm. In the digital age, the safety of the skies depends on the security of the systems below. As aviation moves forward, building cyber resilience will be just as important as maintaining runways and aircraft, because the next attack could come at any time, from anywhere.